Oh, hello, folks. We're now at audio excerpt number 3 from The Lake Demon by yours truly, Ken David Stewart. Okay, I'll start from where we left off last day, and this is for those who prefer listening in audio to actual reading. Okay. After a few minutes, Ryan noticed that his dad was pacing around the small living room. "What's up, Dad? You look like you've got something on your mind." "Have a seat on the couch, guys. I have some good news and some bad news to tell you," said John. He was still nervously pacing the floor. "Which do you want first?" "Hit us with the bad news first, Dad," said Stephanie with a worried look on her face. "Okay. The bad news is about your grandpa. I just got a call from your Aunt Meg earlier today. She told me that Grandpa's cancer has gotten worse, and that he may only have 1 or 2 months to live," John answered. "That's terrible news," said Ryan, with a pained expression on his face. "We have to visit him before he dies," said Stephanie. "Oh, I've got that part covered," said John. "That's the good news. We're starting on a drive to Aunt Meg's place tomorrow morning. She wants our company until your grandpa passes away. We'll be staying at her place for most of the summer." "Did you say we're leaving tomorrow, Dad?" asked Ryan. "Yep, I want to get an early start. I want to be on the road by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning," answered John. "Wow, this is short notice. We'll have to start packing this evening," said Stephanie. "That's the plan," John replied. "We'll start packing right after supper. I'm going to phone Pizza Hut and order us some pizza." "What kind of pizza would you guys like?" "Ham and pineapple for me," answered Stephanie. "Pepperoni for me," said Ryan. When their pizza delivery arrived, John, Stephanie, and Ryan got into a lively discussion. "Are we going to have enough money for the trip, Dad?" asked Ryan. "Yeah, do you guys remember my cousin Ronnie?" "Yeah, I remember him coming to visit you a couple of times," said Stephanie. "As I recall, he was pretty well off, wasn't he? He drove a really cool Porsche," said Ryan. "Yes, Cousin Ronnie did very well for himself. He owned his own insurance agency," answered John. "I forgot to tell you guys, Ronnie had a fatal heart attack in January. He didn't have many family members left, so he left a substantial inheritance in his will to me." At 7 a.m., Stephanie was already up and was busy cooking the family a breakfast of bacon, eggs, and sausages. The only time when John Richards ever got a home-cooked meal was when one of his friends invited him over for supper. Most of the time, John made himself a bowl of frosted flakes for breakfast, 2 peanut butter and honey sandwiches for lunch, and the evening he would drive over to the A&W restaurant in the mall for supper. The one advantage to this was that John never gained any weight when his kids weren't staying with him. "When's the last time you got your car serviced, Dad?" asked Ryan. "Oh, just 2 weeks ago. Got an oil change and had the technicians at Firestone check out the car for potential problems. They gave it a clean bill of health," answered his dad. "But it's a Ford Taurus, Dad. I was just reading Phil Edmonston's book, Lemonade. He ranked the Taurus as one of the worst cars on the road today," said Ryan. "I know. I read Lemonade too," said John. "It's great for guys like Phil Edmonston that he thinks Hondas and Toyotas are such great cars, because he can probably afford them. Ever since my last full-time teaching job, I've never been able to afford an important vehicle. They're way out of my price range now." "What if your car breaks down on the trip? After all, it's 17 years old," said Stephanie. She passed a plate of sausages over to her dad. "I'm not worried about it," her dad responded. "I've always had my car serviced on a regular basis, and I've kept up with the repairs over the years. The only thing you need to worry about on the Taurus is the transmission, and I had a rebuilt transmission put in last year. We'll be in good shape, don't worry." After the family finished breakfast, Ryan and Stephanie washed and dried the dishes, and John went outside to start loading suitcases and bags in the back of his white Ford Taurus station wagon. John's two dogs ran out to the car with John and quickly jumped in. It was fortunate that John had purchased the station wagon model of the Ford Taurus, as it was able to accommodate all of the family's luggage. As they started down the road, Stephanie said, "It's sure good to be with you again, Dad. I really miss you when I'm living with Mom." "Yeah, me too, Dad. We think you're awesome," added Ryan. John felt a tear trickle down his face when he said, "I love you guys too, and I miss you terribly when you're not with me." Okay, we'll hold it there for episode 3 of the audio excerpt.